Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Bow Nerds podcast. We're jumping on real quick. Me and AJ, as soon as we jump on and start talking to each other, we basically miss an entire episode just from our conversations. So today, we only had 5 minutes before, so now we're going to jump in. We got so much to catch up on. AJ's got a freaking turkey hunt that sounds like it was absolutely epic. The photos were killer. If you haven't seen them, go check out Nights of the Apex on Instagram. And gosh, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. we slack too much that there's too much to talk about.
Well, like, if we kept up weekly, we'd probably have half-hour episodes, but a lot of has weirdly happened in the off-season the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, it's good problems, though. It
is. It's been just, life has never been better. Things are moving along, and gosh, I'm so stoked for the future, dude. It's just there's so much happening that I don't know. For both of us, for everyone that I talked to, I was on the phone today with Joe Gabo. If anybody doesn't follow Joe Gabo, you need to follow him. He's so funny. Yeah. He's a good dude. I want a name like that. I want to name Joe Gabo. Is that his real name?
Fake. I don't know.
Because, like, he introduced himself on one of his videos. Hey, it's Joe Gabo. Like, is that how you pronounce it? Because it's spelled Jeaux.
Listen,
and I can't spell like the Gabo part.
It's got to be real or just run with it at that point. But I met one of the I ran into one of the engineers from Easton, and that's how he referred to him. So I'm going to go with that.
Hey, that's probably... I'm going to have to... I'll call him again tomorrow and be like, yo, dude, what is your real name?
I'm going to call him and be like, dude, so what's on your W-2? Like, what's on the tax return? What's the actual name?
Oh, that'd be funny.
Yeah, man, no, you're right. Like, like, I feel like we're in a weird little circle of friends that are, like, things are just kicking off. I had lunch with Kyle. We were just talking before we started recording. I had lunch with Kyle from DCA Custom Arrows last week. And literally, like, not 24 hours after we wrapped that up, I talked to Isaac from Method, and they were getting a collab together for the limited run of ZMR. So super cool to see that come together. Just like good brands, good people that I know like we're both tight with, and I like couldn't be more stoked for stuff like that to be going on. Like that's what you want to see.
Yeah, no, I just got. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get like freaking emotional about it. I just got a text from Isaac from Method. He sent me a video. I know exactly what it is just looking at the thumbnail of... So right now, Isaac is editing my bison hunt for everybody that doesn't know. And so if you're watching the video, this is the thumbnail of it. And, dude, this was like... Sorry, this is total rant, but total...
Good timing.
Off track. But, Isaac captured... I legit have chills right now thinking about it. So... I'll preference it a little bit. So on my hunt, I had my two guides, and then one of the guides had to leave on a trip to Hawaii, so his dad came and filled in to help guide. And his dad is, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the last episode, the dude is the mountain. Like, the dude, he's not a mountain man. He is the mountain. Like, he's who I want to be when I grow up. And when we... had successfully got the buffalo, and we were down in the situation where it was. He did like this prayer to like release the spirit of the buffalo. Dude, it was the most it was unreal. All of us, like all these grown men, are sitting here with this buffalo in this trench just bawling. And
dude, that's heavy.
He didn't even like say, "Hey guys, I want to do this." We were all just looking at it. Jake's taking pictures, Isaac's filming, and he just went. Like, if I watched this, I would literally cry right now.
I feel like there's something. I was talking to Scott from Dialed about this because he guides in Wyoming, and I'm looking into. I've been thinking about doing a bison hunt for a while, so like I'm starting to put the feelers out seriously. And me and him were talking about it. There's just something about, like, there's something like very like supernatural, spiritual about like bison. Like I feel like you can't, like I can't call myself a hunter and live my entire life in North America and not go on a bison hunt. Like I don't know. Like I can't imagine. That's got to be like such a crazy, like links you to history in a weird way.
It literally, I'm glad you brought that up, is it's like, when I harvest an animal, finish an elk or deer, whatever, and walk up on the animal, like, it's a spiritual experience. Everybody feels it that has successfully harvested an animal, especially with a bow. It's one thing with the rifle, but again, it's a crazy different experience with a bow. Having this bison, I mean, I posted it. You can look on my freaking feed. You gotta scroll down a little bit. A bawling video. It blew up somehow, went like 650,000 views because I just think it was real. I was trying to talk to my phone because I had ran away from the camera guys to finish it, and then I just wanted to talk to the camera saying, hey, I killed it, and I couldn't even get words out. Like, it was the most surreal experience, the most spiritual, like, I don't even think there's words that could describe it. And once you get down and put your hands on this animal, like again, like you said, like, it is just a connection with history, a connection with your ancestors, with the land. Like, the bison owns America.
Yeah.
They own the land. And obviously, you know, with all Native Americans and everything, like, that, it's just the history of America. And you do literally feel that. And so this, I mean, maybe I'll just play it, see if you can hear something in the video, but let me turn it up. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what part is in it, but let's see.
May you come with us and make the load light. Feed our tribe. May we meet again, our four-legged brother. May your spirit run freely and your soul rest in peace. Amen.
Dude, I got goosebumps. Like, his accent, like, that could not be more perfect.
Like, I've been, oh my gosh, yeah. So, I mean, that's how my bison hunt went right there. I could post that and call it good. Like, you don't have to watch the hunt at all. Just listen to that, watch that, and, oh, gosh, yeah. Anyway, so.
Well, I'm psyched for the full thing to come out. Cause I've been getting teased with this thing for months, so I can't wait.
I don't even think you have the full story, do you?
No, I don't. I honestly, like, I don't want to. Like, people keep hinting. I'm like, nah, let me find out with everybody else. Like, at this point, like, yeah.
I found, so Jake gave me all the photos to the hunt, but he gave me a folder of the ones that he edited. It had like 200, 300 something. And then another folder that had a few thousand. But I couldn't open those ones because they were raw, and I didn't have anything uploaded on my computer to open them up. And finally, I downloaded Lightroom and was able to open them through Lightroom just literally yesterday or 2 days ago. And it was so fun. Like, it was never before seen photos, even by me, just, you know. And so I was scrolling through them all with my wife and just reliving that moment, and it just made me absolutely hyped for the movie. Like, the movie's legitimately going to be insane. Like, it's going to be freaking sick. I'm so excited.
Dude, that was one of the things that got me into photography, just like capturing those moments so you can relive them. Like, I think we were at my sister's wedding, and like, his family had all these family photos and mine didn't, and I was like, that's like a travesty. Like, it's one of those things where, like, you always feel corny in the moment, stopping to take a photo or like being that dude with the camera, and then like, I had to tell myself, like, just get over yourself. Like, you're not that cool anyway. Like, just take the photo, and then you have that memory forever. You know, it's and then you get to relive it. And dude, it definitely brings back all of that for sure. Like, that's so cool. That's like, I'm so stoked for you because I know how much that hunt meant for you, and to like get it on video that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and yeah, I've felt the same with taking photos and stuff at places, like pulling my phone out, like always that person that's always got their phone, and then you have people giving you crap like, oh, live in the moment. Like, no, this moment's going to live forever now because I have the memory, but I'm also in the moment. Like, a quick capture's nothing. I don't know.
I am really bad at taking photos with people. Like, I'll take photos of people, but like, I always forget to take photos with people, and then afterwards I feel bad that like we didn't do, like, especially like people you don't get to see very often. But like, I just want to talk to them. I don't want to be like, hey, like, let's grab a photo. You know what I mean? I don't know. I still haven't figured out how to navigate that. But
no, yeah,
dude,
I get
that's
your
exciting.
Photos, your photo game, dude, is like who on Instagram doesn't copy AJ? That's what I want to know.
That's false.
AJ has the standard, and then everybody copies his overlays.
Well,
his
I started
overshots.
just by copying people, so that's and then putting my own twist on it.
Just
That's the key to everything. But
exactly. You took good ideas and perfected it.
Nothing's original. You just like find something you like and then put your own spin on it. Like
I came up with an original one. I did today, actually, sitting on my couch, on my parents' couch. So I'm at my parents' house right now. But let me tell you this idea. So,
I'm psyched.
So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I post stupid stuff, and
he's got a blue check mark now, so he's legit.
Exactly, blue check mark. We got to cover that. I went out paddleboarding and shot my bow on a paddleboard. Right? People have done that. It is what it is. Except it's funny and it's hilarious. It's cool. It's just like you see somebody shooting a bow kneeling on a paddleboard. You're thinking, what the frick? Like, you're stupid. And it's hilarious. So I did it. Anyway, but I thought of another one. So I have a series I'm doing that's just shooting bows where people don't shoot bows. So I'm letting you in on a secret. I don't want somebody to copy me before I can get it done. I want to get – sounds so stupid, but it's going to be epic. I want to get 2 giant excavators. Massive, like the massive, like 100-ton-pound excavators with a 50-foot reach, like just massive. I want to get in the bucket, have them raise it up all the way, and then on another one, have the bucket up with the target on top of the bucket. And just shoot.
Dude, I wonder how bad the wind would be up there, too. That would be pretty awesome.
So stupid, but...
I think this is a great idea. This is going to need to be like a separate account just for this stuff.
Just for the stupid stuff I do.
And maybe put it under an LLC too, just in case someone comes after you for just who knows what. But yeah,
good idea. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Doing stupid shots, just a limited liability.
Yeah, for real, dude. Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. I'm ranting.
I don't even know where we were at. Dude, well, I guess like we could go from, we talked about the biggest animal in North America. We could go to one of the tiny ones. So we just, I think we were just talking to somebody that's getting ready to go on a turkey hunt. The season's just wrapping up here in Florida, depending on where you're at. Dude, I decided next year, I'm really making it a priority to do more of like a turkey tour because I have way too much fun. I love the bow. But close second is, without a doubt, a shotgun. Something about
100%.
Loading up the shells and, like, chasing those little birds and not having to worry about scent or wind or any of that. Just, like, camo, cover, trying to trick the little guys. It's so much fun. Like, I got super lucky this year. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get out to my family's place up north, so our season's super early for the lower half of Florida. It starts usually around March, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, which is usually right around my birthday. So I talked to my buddy who's got a cattle ranch. Like, I kind of like guilted him into letting me like go hunting. Like I like just shameless, like, hey dude, it's my birthday. Like, it'd be really cool if like we could go turkey hunt. Like just shamelessly like pushing myself onto them. But worked, went, crashed at his place. Him and his dad, they were going out in the morning, so got a little extra rest, got right up. His dad mentioned something about seeing a gobbler the day before behind a barn. And so like the way the property is laid out, it's this massive cattle ranch. It's like 3,000 or 4,000 acres, but the actual, it's massive. Most people don't know, like the whole middle of Florida is all swamp and cattle country. Like it's all ag. Like if you're not in Miami or the coasts or Orlando, like the whole rest of the state is all ag and cattle. So and the Everglades and, stuff that wants to eat you. But out of these thousands of acres, there's really the north end and the south end are really the only turkey spots. There's the only spots with pines and cover and water and the things that you need for turkey. So, So they were going south, like they were going to the Primo location. So I stayed on the property line north, which like I knew I had seen turkeys there before. It was right in between like the barn where he said he had seen a turkey and like where I know that I've killed a turkey there in the past. And it was one of those things where like it felt so good, dude, because I finally put into practice like one of the simple lessons that like you learn and then forget every year, which is like don't leave animals to find animals, right? Right. So like I set up, like I split my distance through, like I just went out with one hen decoy, threw it out there, hooted in the morning, you know, not a whole lot of owls, not a whole lot of turkey noises, had a hen a couple 100 yards behind me, and I could hear a gobble in the distance by the barn. So I didn't waste too much time. There was nothing moving around. So just got up slowly, just still hunted my way up there. Every 100 yards or so, gobble, or not gobble, just cluck cluck, you know, as I was going. Get to the barn, you know, give the cluck cluck, gobble, like maybe 100 yards off. It has to be the same. Has to be the same time, right? There's a logging road where they cut some trees for some power lines, right? Throw my decoy out, split the distance so he can see it no matter what side he comes from. Tuck myself into some palmettos, right? Calling again, like another 20 minutes. Just call a little bit. I hear him still behind. Now he's behind me. I set up so he's behind me, and then nothing else. So at this point, like I know my buddy and his dad haven't seen crap. I know they're getting antsy. They're gonna start working their way towards the barn. I'm like, there's no point getting up, moving, whatever. I'm just gonna chill here. You know, and just if something comes, it comes. It doesn't. Sure enough, like not even 10 minutes later, he came around from the opposite way of where I heard him. Right, like I don't know. Whenever I've hunted turkeys, they seem to circle around to where that noise is. So he's walking right along the tree line. He's not even 10 yards from me, and he just goes into the so like I can't move. Like I hear him rustling, but I can't see him yet. So I'm like ready. But he's right in line. I could just see the red head. There's a downed tree next to me. So, and it's thick enough where, like, I can just see that something's there, but I can't tell if it's a tom or what.
Yeah.
His head pops up, red head. He sees my decoy, doesn't love what he sees, turns around, start walking back. As soon as he clears and starts walking back away from me, I just popped up and just, I mean, dude, the 12 gauge just pushed him a good 2 feet forward. But,
dude.
It was just a fun, fast, like, it wasn't even 8 o'clock yet, you know, like, super quick hunt.
That's
finally,
sick.
like, bro, it felt so good to get the monkey off my back because, like, all of my hunts the last, like, 6 months have been Hail Marys, and this one finally panned out. Like, I had one morning, you know, and, like, everything just came together, and it was just super cool, like, to freaking finally get to put my hands on an animal and have a plan come together, but, Dude, turkeys are so much fun.
So much fun. There's like they used to be underrated. Now that I feel like everybody's figuring it out and just blasting it all over social media, saying how fun it is, which it is a ton of fun. But there's millions of turkeys, so.
And I think if you're gonna take people, it's such a fun hunt to take people on too because you're calling. There's stuff going on. Again, you don't have to worry about like the wind or scent control and stuff because like I feel like when you're used to dealing with that, it feels like. I don't know, like, it feels like such a weight is lifted off you when you can just run and gun hunt and not have to worry about the wind and scent control and all that stuff. Like,
totally.
Totally. Yeah, dude, next year definitely going to have to plan.
Dude, let's do it. Let's plan a turkey tour.
Yeah, I heard Montana, you can get, like, a ton of tags depending on which region or whatever. Yeah, like, I think you can get, I've fact-checked me on this, but apparently you can get, like, a tag for each region plus, like, a state tag. I don't know if that still applies to out-of-state people.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, so, but dude, for sure, yeah.
We could work our way from the east all the way to the west, because, like, Utah's turkey season hasn't opened until another, like, 4 weeks. So
well, even up north, like I think May 1st is the opener for New York. I don't know what it is for for PA. Yeah, New York's is way late.
What would it take to do a 50-state turkey hunt?
Oh my god!
Or at least the lower 48.
Yeah, because Alaska doesn't have them. Hawaii has them.
I mean, we could probably just plant one and shoot it in Alaska.
Yeah. Be the one. Dude, a bear would come and eat it and us. Me, like, what the hell is this thing that they just delivered to me?
But that'd be sick. Could you imagine shooting a turkey in every freaking state? Take a year off of archery and turkey hunt every state.
That'd be pretty epic. All of the archery companies I work with would be super pissed, but it would be like, dude, you haven't done any bow content in 6 months.
Like, dude, I just need a 12-month break. It'll be okay.
You know what? I forgot how expensive 12 gauge shells are nowadays.
Dude, especially turkey shot.
Turkey loads are insane. Like, I'm not.
It's like $6 a shell.
Yeah. If like, or on the high end, it's like $20 a shell. Like, I bought a pack, the TSS. I think they're Federal. Like Onyx, you get a discount if you're an elite member, and I want to say it was like $80. I was expecting like a 20 pack. It was a 5-pack.
No
I
way.
was like, what?
Oh gosh.
I was like, if you're like doing the math, it's cheaper to just go get a turkey at the store. But it's not going to be.
It's not as fun.
It's not as fun. It's not as fun.
Oh,
but yeah, man,
that's funny.
We cooked that up, like cooked the breast like chicken cutlets, and ate that thing for the whole rest of the week, and it was awesome, man. It was awesome.
Sick.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta admit, when I shoot a turkey, I've never eaten a turkey that I've shot.
Really?
I give the meat to somebody else. 'Cause one, I'm not the biggest fan of turkey. Like, I'll eat it at Thanksgiving. But
Yeah.
the real reason why is because, so, it was probably Steven Ranella. I watched a video or somebody plucking a whole turkey and doing a full Thanksgiving turkey in the oven.
Yeah, I'm too lazy for that.
So I wanted to try it out. I'm like, that's epic. Like, I really want to do this. And I brought the whole bird home, and I was plucking it in my house, and started, like, gutting it. And it had to have just been a rotten bird. Unless this is how frickin' turkeys are. It was the most sour, most disgusting smelling, just nasty.
Yeah, no, something was
inside
off
of
with that.
Anything. It was disgusting. Like, I can literally still taste it and smell it, like, in my freaking mouth right now.
Did you shoot it with the bow?
No, I think that one was a shotgun.
Because, I mean, I could see if, like, you popped something, you know, I mean, it's just like a deer. Like, if you pop depending on what you shot, like, you know, you could have popped the, why am I blanking? Like, the bladder or whatever, and, like, spoiled it. Like,
maybe it was
who knows?
One I shot with my bow.
But I remember my family was the same way. Like, my grandmother would always, like, pluck the turkeys and stuff, and, like, and she's a great cook, and she would even complain about, like, how much time it took. But, like, I'm way too lazy for that. Like, efficiency.
It's a lot easier to split the skin and chop the breasts off and call it good.
That's it. Grab the thighs, you know, and then like do whatever. Like, honestly, like the thighs, like I was too lazy to cook those good. Like anything that like I'm not sure what to do with anymore, like I save, and like my dog gets fed like extremely well now. So, but she knows like when we've got wild game or not. Like we did a slow cook with a neck roast, with a deer neck roast, and like we did it. My wife and I did it overnight. And I wake up at like 6:30 the next morning to like start heating up the bottle for the baby, and my dog is in the kitchen just staring at the crock pot like, Dad, what the hell is in there? Like, I need that.
Awesome. It really is a whole different, like, same with my dogs, just when I break out the meat and cutting it up, steaks or whatever, elk, deer, now buffalo, whatever, like, I toss them scraps, just raw meat. They literally go crazy. Like, they go stupid for the meat.
Oh, they know. 100%.
They know exactly. They're like, that's the good stuff. I want that.
I mean, I feel it even like with the venison burgers. I don't get that tired feeling after having a burger that I do with a beef burger. Like,
I need to send you buffalo burger, bro.
Listen, I may be coming out to Salt Lake City in a couple of weeks. We'll see what's going on. So yeah,
let me know.
So Nodens, we're partnering with PSC again this year, and Isaac Jr. works for PSC, and he's still there. He's going to be there. They're basically doing what he did for Black Rifle, but for PSC, it sounds like. So I think we're going to try details are still in flux, but I think we're going to try and get something worked out where we'll build up the bows together this year.
Bro, that's
spend all the money to ship them to me and then ship them out to the recipients. So fingers crossed it'd be a good excuse to come see the homies and get some stuff done too. So
that'd be way fun. That'd be sick. I was actually just texting him today saying, hey, when I get back into town, let's do some content, go shoot some bows. He's like, let's do it.
Yeah, dude, talk about a good dude. Yeah, him and his whole family. Like, I talked to Senior last week. Like, they're the best. So I'm super stoked for them. I know they're busy with tax season going full swing now, but
yeah, they are really good people.
But yeah, man.
Oh man, yeah.
Let's circle back to the blue check mark, which has been a controversial topic amongst creators in the industry.
It's hilarious. I'll admit it is really funny. And look, here we go, blue check mark. If you can see on my screen.
So for those that don't know, and probably most people don't care, but so Instagram changed their policy. They basically copied Twitter. So it's pay for play for a blue check mark now. So anybody that, I don't know if you need to have like a business account or whatever, but you can get a blue check mark. It just requires you verify your ID. There's like a couple steps, like your name's got to match and your photos got to be yourself, and then you got to pay. It's like $15 a month or something like that. Which honestly, like I said when Twitter did it, I wish Instagram would do that. Like I was somebody very in favor because like every time, like especially for Nodens and stuff like that, we would do like a giveaway or a raffle or something. We would get just bombarded with fake accounts, and it just it just watered down everything to the point where like people would search and they wouldn't be able to find the legit account, or they'd be following the scam account, or like it was just such a hassle. So I was all for it, and I was super, but it's funny to see like there's a lot of like salty creators that are like oh, people are just trying to like, I don't know, like legitimize themselves by paying for a check mark, which like the check mark's always been a bullshit thing that like random people got. It wasn't like, it's a fake status symbol to begin with, but at least now, like in my mind anyway, like, like, okay, this is the actual person. Like I'm not, I don't know. That's been my take on it. I tried paying for it, by the way. I got denied because they said my ID didn't my ID didn't check out. So I don't know if it's because my photo was only half my face, but.
Does your ID not look like your face anymore?
It was, I used the McLovin ID instead of, that could be it too, dude. Maybe that's what it was. I have way more hair in my driver's license photo than I do now.
No, this is not the guy. This guy is completely bald.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite comments on your thing, by the way, on your page.
Oh, bro, those are the best. My ears and my bald head.
Hopefully it's not a sensitive subject, but
it is not.
Okay.
No, I cashed in those chips a while ago. I was like, of all the things to worry about, that is not one of them. So.
There's no benefit to having hair because who doesn't wear hats? You know what I mean?
There's that, and then if you do the research, the only people that have fought it successfully are billionaires. So I'm not in that boat, so I wasn't even going to try.
There's no use for hair. It's completely pointless.
It's
do it in the
way
morning.
Easier.
I mean, like, well,
it simplifies the life,
right?
It's cooler.
Like, you don't even have to shower because your hair doesn't get greasy.
My baby son finds it hilarious to play with. Like, it's great. There's no downside.
Buddha head.
My wife is stuck with me regardless. So yeah, we're good to go.
Maybe that's your issue. Throw a wig on. Instagram will verify you.
There you go. That's what I gotta do. I gotta regrow the faux hawk somehow.
That's
I gotta
right.
find a faux hawk wig.
Dude, the verification on it, like, I feel like it's just gonna transition from like a status symbol is kind of the culture that was around it. That people like. It wasn't a status symbol. It was just like, hey, this is, by the way, the real person. This is the real Kim Kardashian, whatever. You know what I mean? Versus now it's like, okay, this is it's the real Braxton. Here's my account. Like, because just like you're saying with Nodens, all these fake accounts for giveaways, it's so annoying.
For sure. And I mean, I know plenty of, especially photographers that are like legit photographers that have been doing this for years and years that like just don't have giant followings that could never get verified just because they've got 2,000-3,000 followers. And the only reason they only have that is because they're busy making content for clients all the time. So they're not worried about their own. Like now, like you've just given them an opportunity. And also, if you're running a business or any sort of business off it, like I was way more inclined to do it when Instagram was paying out for bonuses because your net gain. And then they stopped doing that and they just took our money. But
dude, that was the thing is you had to be invited like on Reels to make money on Reels. I was never invited, so I didn't even know people were making money on Reels. And my buddy Jared's like, yeah, they just took it away. I was making freaking money on all my Reels. I'm like, what?
I was too, yeah.
But
it was also bullshit to begin with because they give you, they would give you a ceiling that you could never hit. So like they'd be like, you can make anywhere from $0 to like $1,400, right? And like it didn't matter how many views or engagement, like, because I had like crazy swings last year. Like I had one video hit like 300,000 views, and like my reach was like close to 500,000 in November, which like hunting season, everybody's amped about hunting, like everybody's engagement goes up, right? Yeah. But like no matter what, I never made more than $110 on Reels.
Really?
Like, any month. Like didn't matter like if I had like 10,000 views or 300,000 views. Like it always capped out at that 110. So like there's some shenanigans going on there 100%. Like
that's weird.
And I'm sure we lost half of our audience that doesn't care about this, but the people that do care are going to be so in the weeds. I did. You know what we do need? I've been thinking about this a lot. We need an intern.
That would be a good idea. Somebody to keep us on track.
Yeah, like we need an intern that's like, hey, I want to get into this. I don't have the money to like make all the same mistakes you guys did with camera equipment and whatnot. Like, let me test out your stuff and use your licenses. And
that's
then
a good idea.
You can, because then we'd have somebody to actually make thumbnails and shorts for us and all this stuff that like we forget or just don't want to do for this podcast that we got going on.
So somebody that's listening wants to be a Bonerd intern.
Yeah. Hit us up on our main pages because neither one of us checks the Bonerd's DMs. So
yeah, it has to be Accent or Coda.
Yeah,
I think I've checked Bonerd's DMs once or twice in the last year.
But
we'll be better. We'll be better. I'm this close to quitting my job,
better.
And Bonerd's will be a lot easier to be full time.
Oh, me too. But I haven't done it yet.
Wait, really?
No, not really. Oh. I always say that, but I've been saying that for 3 years, dude.
Bro, I'm pulling the plug, and my employer completely has screwed me like multiple times. So if they're listening, they can get my true thoughts and feelings on what they did to me. But anyway, so I'm just peacing out.
That's basically what happened reason.
Was I started the company, I made it to the top, became a project manager over the situation and installing car wash equipment, and I don't know if it was money or what, but they demoted me, took my pay, everything, and then they expect the same things of me doing every day. So I'm like, no. So I worked with this other guy. Just I won't say too much, but not a very like trustworthy type of person. Hopefully he doesn't listen. But if I leave, like they're screwed. Like they're done for. I feel bad, but I just gotta look out for me and my family,
Dude, that's it. I mean, I tell my team that, like, so I manage a compliance team. That's my 9 to 5 for like people that don't know, and I tell my team, like, look, you and I have different roles, but we're not at different levels of human beings, right? So, like, you got to do, like, at the end of the year when you have those, like, conversations, stuff like that, like, I can make recommendations for salaries and bonuses and stuff like that, but it's a big corporation. Like, I can only do so much. Like, there's 4 levels above me, right? It's like, I tell them all the time, like, I'm very frank, like, you got to do what's right for you and your family. Like, that's number one. Like, and I feel like now, like, you and I realize that more now than ever, now that we got kids. Like,
totally.
It puts so much in perspective, like, what actually matters. And I think that's the hard thing, too, is, like, you see all this BS and, like, especially also when we have, like, passion projects that, like, is just more in line with our ethics and what we want to do anyway. Like, it's tough to just like
Totally.
eat shit at a 9 to 5. Like,
Totally. Especially when the 9 to 5 expects it to be a 9 to 9 Monday through Monday.
yeah, no, that's way too much. That's crazy.
Like today. So Friday we have our planning meetings, right? So we plan the week because it's so scrambled. We can only plan a week in advance. Like, it's just complete BS. Anyway, we planned. We were working Monday through Friday, regular, blah 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 blah. Today I get a freaking message. Oh yeah, we're gonna have you guys come in Sunday, and we got to work all day Sunday putting in this piece of equipment. And I just replied and said, we were not informed about that, and I've got other obligations on Sunday, so I won't be there. And no reply. So I just won't show up. What are you gonna do? Fire me?
Dude, it's yeah. Because it doesn't. Oh, yeah, it'd be different if it works the other way around too, right?
Yeah.
But like,
yeah. But it's like, dude, I gave everything to this place. Like, I know we're getting deep into the weeds on this episode. I get it. But like,
I bet
gave
there's a lot of people
years.
out there going through the same stuff too.
It is, and it's just the shittiest thing. Like, why do you work for somebody? For money. Yeah. You're not there because it makes you happy. I mean, very rarely. If you go work for PSE, it's going to be fun. You're going to have a blast, most likely. Yeah. You're going to be around cool people. But when you do what I do and you're around literally the scum of the earth, you're going to hate yourself. You're going to hate your life. And you are who you were around. And I kept finding myself, like, losing who I was.
Yeah.
Like, my goals were changing. My ambitions were going down. Like, just everything. Anyway, I mean, I gave 5 years to this company. I moved my entire family 5 hours north. Nothing. Just nothing. Literally gave me nothing. Did nothing for me. And just said, see ya. I went on my buffalo hunt, and then after that, the day I got back, they said, you're done. I said,
yeah,
okay.
That's definitely like a generational gap. Like, I know so many people like older than me that it's like you stick with the same company forever, and it's like the company's getting everything, right? But they're getting a 1% raise every year, you know, or
exactly.
whatever. And it's like, and they keep getting loyalty shoved down their throats. It's like, it works both ways though, too. Like,
yeah, totally.
You know, and for people like, you know, I feel like at least I get hit up for this all the time. Like, people trying to start out in the outdoor industry and stuff like that. Like, you know, you got to pay your dues, and you got to know like what value you actually bring to the table. But at the same time, like, you also have to look at like how much value, like once you do know that value and once you are at a position, like you got to be okay, like just putting what it's worth out there and then getting no's back. Like it's a big thing. Like you can't, like there are plenty of people that are willing to do like stuff for free product, but if you're looking to make an income, like you can't feed the family with bows.
No, exactly. I was talking to Joe Gabo about that today. Actually, is like, nowadays people are so free gear oriented where now companies are looking at stuff saying, oh, so and so will do this, you know, just for free gear, give them that, versus like this professional photographer, aka Coda or whatever, that should and deserves to charge a little bit on top of the free gear, is getting screwed in some circumstances because now Braxton's doing it for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it depends, right? Because, like, it's always... Because I'm sure I was that guy. Like, dude, like, now, like, I have a couple of, you know, contracts with companies that I work with that I've been working with for years, and, like, it started out with just, like, gear, but also my content was shit. You know, at least, like, compared to, like, how it is now, right? But, like, at the same time, like, if you guys... Like, my whole thing is, like, if we're growing together, like, if I'm helping you grow and I'm growing, right? Like, the content's growing, like, and also the asks are growing. Like, if you want me to just do me and, like, there's no expectations, like, that's one thing. But if, like, there are set deliverables, well, then that's got to go both ways, right? Yeah. Because, like, you're now asking me to, like, work for you for, you know, and the hours, I don't know, it very rarely evens out. And then the other thing is like I know, like, but it makes me feel better because even guys at the very top of our industry deal with the same thing. Like a lot, they're the companies that value, like, even the feedback you get, like, from followers and, like, what you can do for gear and things like that. There are companies that value that, and then companies that don't care. And but that's the other thing. Like, are you in a position where you can pick and choose who you work with? Like, I think agency is what we all want at the end of the day, right? Like, we'd love to be able to just like be flexible, take off, go hunting whenever we want, like work with the brands that we want to, like. But it's I don't know, man. I'm encouraged by like the younger guys, like having spent some time with some like in camp with like some younger guys. Like, it seems like they prioritize like working with good brands and companies, even if the product is like not the tippy top tier. Like,
yeah,
because there are a lot of guys like at the top tier, but like they're also like you wouldn't want to hang out with them.
For sure. I feel like there's a couple different like categories of people. You have people that are like sponsor free gear hungry, where they take the bait on everything possible and they just shoot it because it's a free target or free bow or whatever, versus those that like truly do it for a purpose. One, if it's a killer product, or two, if it's killer people to work with. I mean, one person that absolutely, not only is it some like fairly could say best stabilizers on planet Earth, but Quattro.
Yeah.
Hanno is like the nicest freaking dude, and Christian. Like, they they're real
100%.
people. They're not above and beyond anyone. They don't act like they are. Like, they intermingle with everybody. It doesn't matter if you have 1 million followers or if you have 100. Like, these people treat you the exact same. And it's companies like that are pushing through. Like, you've got Dialed, you've got Quattro, you've got UltraView. Like, all these newer companies see that quality in treating people better than these massive corporations that have been around for 80 years.
Well, and I think as consumers too, like especially like when you're first getting into it, right? Like, I remember doing this. Like, you always want to know what's the best, and it's like you can't always look at influencers or sponsored or photographers and like judge what's the best, because there's a lot of good stuff out there. Like, Kyle makes, I would say, the best custom arrows you can possibly get, right? But that's a different price point than Method, who also makes phenomenal arrows, like incredible. Who also makes, like, Dudley also has the straightest damn arrows, and his stuff's all made in USA, right? Like, so like you've got it's all really, really good. You're splitting hairs at that point, right? So it's like, what fits your style at that point? Like, that's another thing. It's like, it's
dude, I could go shoot a .0020, 10, 5, 9, whatever the frick it is, and I'm gonna shoot it the same as a perfect zeroed arrow. I'm not good enough to know the difference between an 03 and an 01 or an 06.
And you're a good shot.
And I'm a fairly. I had a 6-inch group at 120 last night, so it was pretty decent. I've heard stories. I know. But it's like,
you can shoot.
I enjoy shooting. I don't always. I'm not always good. I have good days and bad days, just like everybody else. And it's like, is it easier to share my good days? Yes. Is it easier to post that on Instagram? Yes. Am I embarrassed if I post my 6-foot group that all my arrows are sitting in the dirt at 30 yards? Yes. Should I post that? I should probably begin doing that, so people, just, that's how archery is. It sucks. It's terrible. Like, nobody's perfect at it. Unless maybe you're John Dudley, then maybe you might be perfect. But, like, everybody sucks at it.
But he's super real about when he screws stuff up too, which is cool. Like, once a season he'll post a swing and a miss. Like, everybody messes stuff up. And I think, like, if you're looking for like people to follow and pay attention to, like, just look for the people that are transparent. Because, like, no matter what, like, you can hate on somebody for anything. Like, if there's 365 days, if you post every day, right, like, most of those aren't going to be kills, right? And if you post nothing but kills, people are going to say you're just hunting for likes. And if you don't post enough kills, then you're a poser, right? Like, there's no middle ground. Like I run a gear page, like that's the whole thing. And it's like, even when I kill stuff, I don't always post it. Like, it'll be in a story or I'll talk about it. So, like, I don't know. And also, like, I don't get into the woods nearly as much as, like, an Aaron Snyder or, like, some of these other guys. Like, if you want kill stuff, like, follow those guys for that stuff, you know? Like,
Totally.
I think, I don't like to assume that people are idiots. Like, I like to assume, like, follow who you're getting value or entertainment from, at least.
Yeah.
Like, there are plenty
Yeah.
of dudes that, like, I like their channels or pages or whatever, but I'm not running the same stuff they're running.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there is a stipulation where people get caught up in like running exactly what somebody's running, where it's like you can get a good setup because, you know, if you follow Cameron Haynes and you get what he's shooting, like it's a good setup and it's probably going to work for anyone type of thing, except for the 95-pound beast that he shoots. But like, don't feel like I want to start something where the cheaper gear becomes cool again, because like there are kind of like the hunting public where they shoot, what is it, bear bows or something? What do they shoot?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Which aren't cheap, by the way.
Wait, they're not?
No.
Oh, I thought they had a better
cheap
price range.
So it's like, we're talking like $50 these days. No, they do in the price line, but yeah, they.
Okay.
I mean, their flagships are right up there with everybody else. Like, you're talking like 50, maybe $100 tops difference.
Oh,
between
really?
them. Yeah, like it's.
I didn't know that.
That's the other thing. Like, everything's caught up. Like, for me, I like a combo of like the nostalgia with the new tech. Like, I would sell every piece of gear and get, if I could get like Sitka King's First Light Kuiu tech in Mossio camo, like that's what I would run. You know, like,
For real.
I like the nostalgia, but I also enjoy, like, dude, when I was turkey hunting, I had the insect shield with like, it's this the way they weave the pattern, I guess, stops the mosquitoes from biting through, and then it's got permethrin embedded in the fiber. I couldn't hear myself think the mosquitoes were so bad. Right, the way it goes in Florida is the mosquitoes are super bad the half hour just before and just after, or like leading into like daylight and nightfall. Right, I couldn't hear myself think, but I had no bites on me. Like, through the face mask up, like zero bites on
Really?
anywhere on me, and that was all I was wearing. It's just a thin outer layer. Like, it's I cannot, especially
Who
if you
makes
live in
it?
Sica's got it. So especially if you live in like a ticky area. Like, they have just solid Henley style shirts. Like, I wear that all the time when I go into the woods now, just because like I know way too many people that have had tick issues or mosquito-borne illnesses, things like that. Like, I'll throw that on under whatever other camo like I feel like running if I'm not, you know, wearing Sitka stuff. But that stuff but things like that tech is just like phenomenal. I think I went off on I don't even know what we're talking about now, but
It's good. The rabbit hole was good.
But I hope every company like copies that tech, because it's freaking awesome. Like,
That's
it's
sick.
Yeah, I was blown away.
I would have
blown
never
away by
thought
that
like
stuff.
mosquitoes. But
Dude,
now I'm thinking of it, back in like 2017, 2018, Utah had a crazy wet winter, kind of like what we have this year. Not as bad as this year, but in the areas where I was elk hunting, June, July, August, September, from scouting to hunting, dude, it was, Utah doesn't have, we have mosquitoes, but I'm sure it's nothing like Florida. I know that for a fact. But this, like, we were hunting some water holes, some stuff that was wet, swampy.
Yeah.
And
Still water.
oh my gosh.
Yep.
I was going absolutely insane. Like, I climbed a tree, and once you get about 20 feet up, then mosquitoes aren't there. So I just sat there and like took a breath, and I'm like, holy frick, dude! I'm in a short sleeve t-shirt getting eaten alive.
Before that, I would layer up I'd have to wear 2 base layers, because like if I wore like the First Light Arrow Wick or like the Core Lightweight or like any brand's just their base layer, because it's 90 degrees outside, right? Like, they would just bite right through it. But like this stuff it's maybe slightly less breathable than like their lightest weight stuff. But
What's the name of it?
No
Just
bites.
mention it one more time.
It's the Equinox series with Insect Shield.
Equinox
and I've
series.
got no connection with Sitka whatsoever. So like no sort of like, you know, I'm
But
not
if
getting
they're
any
listening,
kickbacks
AJ
from
would
this.
like a connection.
It's industry discount, whatever. But But no, they're like that stuff was a absolute game changer. Like little things like that stuff were like, yeah, invest your money in that stuff. But like my rest on my bow this year, like I'm running mid price point rests on everything. Like I didn't get like the fancy QAD or the Epsilon. I'm running the QAD R2, which is like integrate, but like there's no micro adjust. And then I've got the Hamsky primer on my Unite. Like, you know,
nice.
figure out like what matters to you and like those areas you can save. And then, but it's hard, right? Because like sometimes you think something's going to be perfect and it's not. Like I do that with clothes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I do that with camera gear all the time too.
Yeah. For real.
Like, oh, I'll definitely use this lens. Never sees the light of day.
Yeah, I bought my drone like, gosh, over a year ago, and I finally broke it out and actually started flying it. Like 2 weeks ago.
Those videos have been awesome, though. It makes me really want to get a drone.
Bro, it gives a perspective that people don't usually capture, but again, people are like, dude, how much is your drone? Like $1,000, $1,500? I'm like, no, I got a Costco for $300. Like,
yeah,
they're cheap. Just buy the cheap one. You don't need the most expensive one. It still films 4K. However, now that I've been flying it, I want the FPV drone by DJI.
I was going to say, yeah.
So that's a little bit more expensive. I mean, it's still, only, considering, but $1,000 to fly
also
90 miles an hour.
If I added all the money I wasted on GoPros over the year, I could have bought that drone. So
easy,
yeah,
right?
But I think that going back to our intern, there's their time, there's their opportunity to experiment, and they don't have to waste their own money because we've got the gear.
Somebody DM. We need one. We need somebody to just like run the page that wants to like experiment and learn how to blow up content, and like you can screw us up or make us good. I don't care.
Yeah, we can tell you, because here's the thing: we know what to do. We just don't have the time. So.
That's time.
And
That's
then if they want their own page, they want their own corner, we'll make it for them. Like, you can have it.
That's another thing that I'm experimenting with, is helping people with like Shopify and kind of starting up their online presence that way. I'm not any expert at it by any means. Zero.
But those
zilch.
beginning steps are the most overwhelming.
Totally. So I've helped a little bit with Jake Belinda to set up his Shopify. He made some killer turkey merch. Like, it's epic. I don't know if it's live on his site, but he sent me them. Dude, it's so sick. And my buddy Jared, I'm helping him with his Shopify. But it's like, I have a passion for that. I suck at it. I know how to do some of it, but like, I have a passion for that and helping people. So if somebody's interested and they want to start up a Shopify, let me know. I would love to mess around. Like, I was messaging this dude.
I got to do a revamp to my site, so you might be. Yeah, he doesn't have products on his website yet, so I'm definitely gonna have to pick some of that up though.
Let me find his text. I gotta show you. Like, and he drew it on his iPad, dude. Like, so he did.
So for those that don't know, we're talking about Jake Belinda, Belinda, on Instagram, and he's crazy talented. Yeah, that's super cool.
So here's some sick,
crazy talented
turkey feet, right? That he put on the sleeve of a sweatshirt.
Yeah, genius.
Super sick, right?
We're gonna have to clear this with him before we post this episode.
I'll be all right. I'll text him.
Let's be real. We're not gonna post this for another 2 weeks. Yeah, that's dope.
Check that out, dude. Like,
yeah,
look at the head on that thing. He'll be psyched that we're amping it up. I'll text him though. I'll make sure he's clear. But his stuff that he does, so he does media stuff, just kind of like you with doing photos. I mean, he's a photographer. Is the Void Media or Void Hunt? That's kind of his business side of stuff. But
crazy talented dude, like freaking
so good. Dude, yeah, he's like super good, and he's so talented with a camera. Like, I'll be doing something stupid while we're out on my buffalo hunt, and the dude whips out his camera for half a second and gets the most epic shot that I could have never even dreamed of.
Dude, and listen, that's another thing people don't take into consideration when they're trying to work in content and media, is being able to be a people person. Like
yes.
a lot of photographers just want to be like, I've noticed this because like it's one of the, like, I know for a fact it's one of the reasons like I've been invited to certain things where like people that I think are much more talented and have way more time in the industry than I do, like probably should have been there, but they weren't, just because either they don't want to talk to people, don't know how to talk to people. Like I don't know, you know, like at some point you have to do a little bit of self-promotion, like as 100%. Cringy as it, and it doesn't have to be inauthentic, like, but like talk to people, you know, like just know when to put the camera down and know when to pick it up. And like, I mean, even like videos, like, dude, like your Instagram channel is freaking great. Like, if you look at like the like top YouTube, like Mr. Beast, all of those guys, like they all have the same format for thumbnails. It's all like their face doing like photoshopped with a caption. Like everybody does that, but it feels so cringy to do that to yourself. And like it goes back to like, don't take yourself so seriously if you want to play the game. If you don't want to play the game, then you also got to be like okay with, well, all right, I'm just not going to get to that same point, or you got to find out what that next game is. Like
totally.
But, yeah.
No, and you bring up a good point too. With photographers being a people person, another big thing that I didn't really take into consideration until I had 2 camera guys following me around on my once in a lifetime hunt. Like having 2 extra people trail you. Yeah. One, they got to be quiet. They got to pay attention to wind. They got to know when to move, when not to move. They got to be respectful of the hunt itself, but also they have probably a harder job because now they have to capture it, being as stealthy as I'm being, just trying to focus on killing something.
Yeah. Where it's an awkward implement. There's nothing
like there was times where all of a sudden I'd look over to my left and 20 yards away there's Jake sitting in this bush and I'm like, where'd you come from? Like my buffalo, the second follow-up the next day, he spotted the buffalo before any of us, but he couldn't say anything because he was kind of far away, and we ended up walking up and spooking it. So like he let it happen naturally. I'm sure he obviously would have been like, hey, stop, if he could have.
Shoots a flare up.
Exactly. And it just something you don't always take in consideration. So like you have to find somebody, a people person, and if you're taking them on a hunt, they have to be like skilled in hunting. Yeah. Because hunting's hard, especially with the bow.
Yeah, seriously. Hunting sucks. That is a next level. Like, and that's why you see like those certain guys like have such good careers that can like manage that stuff, like the Cope creative guys, like Capture creative guys, like all of those dudes that can do that. Like, there's so much that goes into that like you don't think about, even as like somebody just consuming. Like I love just scrolling through YouTube, like watching hunting videos, and like it's like capturing that it's so freaking difficult. And also like you got to figure out like, what do you want to be? Do you want to be that dude in front of the camera or that dude behind the camera? Because those are 2 very different experiences, and you get treated very different depending on where you go. So a lot of people like don't want to, they want to be, I don't know, they want a certain level of attention, I guess. But
that's where I'm at. Is I'm like, I've enjoyed doing the photography and videography and stuff of my own content, and I have a vision for like projects where it's hard to explain to somebody unless it's a 7-year-old nephew. He gets the vision and he'll fly my drone exactly how I ask.
He's really listen, he might be our intern. So
dude, legit, like that kid, he shows up, I'm like, okay, here's your controls. Now, the best shot is just put the controls together, and it's going to just loop around, and the camera's going to stay on me, so just hold that. So, like, that whole shot, I'm like, keep going, keep going, keep going. He's like, am I done yet? I'm like, keep going, keep going. He killed it. Like, that shot was sick.
Is he into hunting? Because we can just pay him in gear as, like, we got like, a good 10 years worth of him growing, so.
Before we need to pay him a dime.
Like, listen, we can't, because you're not 18 yet, legally,
Exactly.
We can give you gear, though. Like, you want clothes?
No, he like, literally, though, like, having somebody be able to do that is, and, like, seeing the vision on a project and accomplishing that is a whole nother thing than, like, I see the vision and I want to film it, but again, I want to be the one shooting my bow on the paddleboard.
For sure, yeah.
So it's like you have to find that happy medium where you both have the same goal in mind, but one's okay to be in front of the camera and one's okay to be behind it.
Yeah. I mean, like, Chris B, like, he's had, like, super talented photographers that are also, like, quote-unquote influencers in their own right, too. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Michael Waddell was a camera guy before he was Michael Waddell that, like, we all know. Like, there's... it is tricky. Like, for me, I got, like, I picked up a little camera with a flippy screen, just because that's another thing. Like, I've just noticed, like, people have been asking, which is, like, a super weird but, like, I just noticed, like, number-wise, like, people care more about when there's, like, an actual person. Like, it's either got to be my dopest flat lay, or there's got to be a person in there to kind of connect with. So, yeah, all that stuff makes a difference. And then, yeah, with videos, dude, it's so tough. Because the other thing is sometimes you have something in your head, and then you do it, and it looks totally different through the camera, right? Like, and it's sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the lava video I did where I went and shot in a lava field. I was by myself, flying my drone, shooting my bow. I had this vision, but it's like I'm by myself, trying to fly my drone and shoot a bow at the same time. So I got 90% of like kind of what I envisioned, but I didn't hit that level that I wanted.
Yeah.
I've got a freaking controller sitting on the ground controlling this thing with my toe as I'm shooting my bow. Like,
and you got to worry about lighting and like
that's the thing is I just don't worry about lighting.
Yeah.
So I go out at 3 p.m. with the harshest lighting possible. And finally, I realized, okay, it's way too hard to color grade something with the sun straight up. So
can you throw a UV filter on there?
I do need to buy one. I don't know if they have one for the Mini. I'm sure they do.
I think I want to say Polar Pro's got one.
Do they?
I think so. I feel like I got one of those like Instagram ads or like YouTube. Like,
we'll get an ad after this conversation
for sure. Yeah,
so.
yeah. Listen, Instagram's targeted ads spot on for me. So I bought a lot of shoes I didn't need because a lot of sneakers and hiking boots. Yeah, it's like I've got the Lathrop and Sons sitting there, and I'm still like, nah, I need those sneakers for no reason.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No, everybody's. If you listen to this, you're gonna have shoe ads right after this. Yeah. Brought to you by.
Yeah, seriously.
No, but anyway, our rabbit hole is just it's an anthill at this point. There's a bunch of branches.
We went all over
off.
the place, man.
We did. All over it was good though. It was good. I feel like.
But yeah, I think should we just like put it out there who we want to get as guests? Like,
absolutely.
We're gonna start doing that again. I think we talked about we want to get the Method guys on here.
100%.
I'm gonna force TJ from Dialed. He's the engineer for Dialed, Novix, Trophy Line, Half Rack, and a whole bunch of other brands. But he's just an all-around good dude and would be a great person to have on. Rack Hub. And then who else were we talking about getting on here?
We were talking about
Joe
Jake
and Jake,
dude. But that's the other thing is our freaking
that whole group.
Yeah, I want to get everybody on.
Yeah,
like and do like a 6-person freaking podcast group sesh.
Oh, that'd be good.
I think it'd be fun. Just set it at like a 30-minute to 60-minute just BS thing.
Yeah.
No title, no nothing. Just
I'm sure none of us will talk over each other. With all
no,
this being
not at all.
Either.
just us two struggle.
Oh
man. No, it'd be epic. We'll get Jake on, talk turkey hunting and deer hunting.
Yeah.
I was talking, the dude's a killer with whitetail and slayer behind the camera. So he's one of those kind of unicorns that can kill and capture it. So
yeah, those dudes deserve all of the credit.
100%. He's something else. And same, you know who's a wizard behind the camera too? I'll be honest, Isaac with Method. Like,
yeah,
so
they do a good job.
People that don't know Isaac, he doesn't want to be known. He wants to be behind the camera. He hates being in front of the camera, and he did media stuff before he started Method, and the dude is insane. Like, I sat down with him on a couple nights on my hunt while he did some edits, just, editing clips of the hunt. And I don't even think he touched the mouse once. He knows all the keyboard shortcuts, and he can edit faster than I can type the ABCs. Like, it's insane.
Oh, I need to learn that because I am so slow. I refuse to use presets also.
Yeah, I need to do that.
I am, I find I get lazy if I have them, so I just don't even have them. But
yeah. Oh, it's smart. Yeah.
There's so many. The guys from Dialed, Jordan and Taylor, like, incredible. They just got a new studio set up in the new shop.
So sick.
So sick. Yeah.
We need to go out there and visit them.
I know. I was saying that. I know. There's a couple of guys. So that's another one we should have on. We got to get Mark from Bloodline because he's in Minnesota also.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Those guys are they're right there. So
I need new strings. So
I might know somebody.
Do you? Because my peep is like this.
Yeah, that's a problem.
My serving. So
Bloodline, so Quattro, Bloodline. Those are two companies that, like, unwavering recommendation because, like, especially here in Florida, like, I've set up bows with different string material, and, like, I'm in climate controlled 70-degree air conditioning, go outside where it's full tilt humidity and 100 degrees, and, like, the peep just freaking does a 90-degree turn right away, and, like, after a couple of dozen shots, like, cables are already stretched, they're sweating wax, like, dude, everything that can happen with string, or, like, the worst is, like, if I have to go into the office and I want to shoot after, right, like, I gotta leave the bow in my car, I can't bring it into the office, and, like, you're leaving it in it's probably 120 degrees, maybe more in the car, which they tell you, like, not to do. But yeah, man, the Bloodline material, so it uses a polymer coating, so it's still, like, the same, like, core material, but the difference is in the coatings that they use. So that polymer coating is more abrasion resistant, but it also doesn't require wax. So there's less friction between the strings, and it doesn't absorb moisture, so it's less impacted by the elements. So, like, we've been shooting him, like, we shot him in the rain. And, like, other than the drag on the arrow, like, 50 yards, like, we were maybe, like, a half inch lower than we normally would be. Like,
really?
Literally, like, no, yeah, it's crazy. Like every other thing, you need a good builder. But all the builders I've been working with, like, I had Unbound Archery built my last two sets. A3 is another good company. Phantom Bowstrings is another good one that I've used. Like, just no break-in period. Free, like, put them on the bow, you got a shot or two just so the strings settle, and then that's it. Like, it's just
really,
it's gotten to the point where, like, I take for granted how easy it is to work with until I work on somebody else's bow that doesn't have it, and I'm chasing that peep twist for those first couple of dozen shots while the strings break in. Like, credit to PSC, their factory strings have actually been phenomenal. Like, I don't really have a reason to swap them out other than the fact that I work with Bloodline, and, like, I just like having an extra set of strings because they have saved my butt in the past where, like, you nick a cable or you get off the airplane and, like, something's frayed a little just from getting thrown around, and, like, if I can get to a press and swap out that one string or cable, like, having that spare, like, keeps that hunt going. So I'm a little paranoid with that maybe, but
no, dude, frick, my Hoyt, typically I haven't had any issues with the Hoyt stock strings, but this RX-7 a week before my buffalo hunt, friggin' the serving just blew up, like, just unwound completely, just frayed off. And
it happens, man. Like, and, like, cable, especially on the shorter axle bows, like the 30-inch and below bows, like, the new bows these days have super wide limb pockets, right? Which is great for stability when you're at full draw. But you got to realize that, like, those cables being pulled to the side, that's a lot of torque being pulled on, especially when you're dealing with a high poundage bow. And the shorter the axle of the bow is, the more acute that angle is going to be. So that's a harsher pressure point on those servings. That's why, like, a lot of those 30-inch and below axle bows will like chew through those cable servings quicker. That's why like I run like I haven't had it happen on the newer bows, but like Titanium Archery Products makes like you don't need servings. They have like a roller guide where like whether or not you have servings, it doesn't matter. So like that's like a little $30 part instead of buying like a whole new set of cables or strings you could get. But yeah, I mean that's something like definitely like you got to watch your servings, and like there are some companies out there pushing just crap strings. That's the other thing. Like and string manufacturers, like their quality ebbs and flows, like because they'll get hot and then they can't keep up with demand, so they bring people on, and maybe those people don't have the same training. So like for me, I've had the best luck with small to medium sized string builders. There's of course like exceptions to that, like ABB Platinums are awesome. I can't think of any other really solid ones off the top of my head, but yeah, strings are like good ones you don't think about. Like everything on my bow, I can tell if it's good if I don't have to think about it. Like if I'm constantly babying it, that means like there's probably something better. There's a better option out there.
Totally. No, I like that. And that's, maybe I need to come shoot PSE.
No, I'll come over to the dark side. The fun side.
Dude, everybody is, bro. Everybody is.
There's a lot of hype right now, man. A lot of hype. So
I like it.
I'm super stoked. Like the new ownership, like it seems like they want to have fun with it, and they love the product and love the brand, and
that's
even
thing.
Their Easter commercial that they did last weekend, like. It was just, for those of you that haven't seen, like, go to their page, like, go watch it. It's hilarious and like so overdone and ridiculous. Like
it was so epic.
It was great, and it was just fun. Like it's just fun content. Like
that's the thing is, say this is a false statement, but just say PSE made the worst bows on planet Earth, right? They've created this atmosphere that everybody wants to be a part of and be their friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
It's just the culture is what makes it honestly one of probably the coolest bow company out there right now.
They're fun. I mean, listen, like I'll be honest, like there's other you and I have said this before. All of those flagship bows are phenomenal. Like it comes down to user preference, and like for guys like us, like even if we were Cameron Haynes status in the industry, like you have your pick of what you want to choose. Well, if they're all really good, then it's going to come down to the people behind the product a lot of times, right? So for me, I lucked out that the bow that I really liked, and that I bought my first PSE 4 years ago now. It was an NXT 31, and just been with them since. And like, but no, dude, like it's super cool, and now like to have more friends over there, it's just. It's freaking awesome. I'm stoked to see what they do with it, because like my first YouTube video I ever made was because of that PSE NXT 31, because I was like, this bow is awesome. Why don't I hear anybody talking about this? Like, why are there no YouTube videos? Why aren't there, like, they didn't have like any sponsor. And then of course, like literally a week after I posted that video, Dudley signs with them at ATA, and I was like, I was right, this bow doesn't suck. Like it is awesome. But
that's awesome.
But yeah, man, it's super. It's cool. I'm stoked to see what they do, and like I think like that whole cultural part. It's so big, because I feel like everyone in the industry feels like it. Like we have to be one way. Like it's got to be like serious, and it's got to be.
Totally.
And it's like we can have fun too. Like shooting a bow is fun. You know? And
yeah.
Not everybody needs to be a bow hunter. Also, like some people, you can just shoot a bow and have fun shooting a bow and not do an epic elk hunt every year. You know what I mean? Like that's all right too. Like if you can't do that, like
totally,
you're not less. Yeah, I feel like that might keep some people out too, because like they feel like, oh well, like I've had this conversation with some people where they're like, oh well, like I don't hunt, but I'd love to like get into shooting. It's like, yeah, it's cool. Like, and maybe they will one day. I don't know. I hope we bring more people in and grow that pie, though.
No, for sure. I mean, that's kind of like Joe Gabo's content is. I know we keep bringing him up, but like,
he does a great job.
Yeah, he does a really good job just shooting bow and having fun. It's a quick 7-second clip that he's just shooting his bow.
Yeah,
and it's like it's not serious. It's fun. It's people out with their buddies. Like it might be a hunting setup type of thing, like a bow hunting setup, but it's not bow hunting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between a bow hunting setup and a target archery setup.
For sure.
And some people enjoy just the bow hunting setup. And people, the companies that are making products for that and whatnot. But you can shoot it just as good as a target archery.
How many people own AR-15s? They're not fast roping into a compound in Pakistan in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's, like you can own these things and have fun with these things. And, if you want to use their ultimate goal, like what they're meant for, like that's something you can definitely get into. But like, you eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? Like, if you want to be a bow hunter one day and you have no idea where to start, like start by shooting a bow, start by going to a shop, start by like meeting other people that shoot, and you never know where things will spiral.
Totally. Just shooting with people is fun.
It is fun. It is fun.
I love shooting my bow, and sometimes when things aren't going together, sometimes it sucks. Absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
When it's not tuning or you can't hit the target, it's a bad day. It sucks, but at the end of the day, it was still a good time shooting your bow.
Yeah, and so you gotta know when to put it down. That's another thing. Like, there's a good lesson there. Like, if it's just not going, like, especially like after like a hard workout or something, like I know I don't shoot as well or hold as steady. You know, so like don't put that pressure on yourself to, shoot like Levi Morgan that day. Just enjoy shooting the bow and don't build bad habits. Like that's kind of the goal for that day.
Well, that's me. I just build bad habits.
Dude, we gotta get like a coach on here. So.
Oh, that's a good idea. There's another one.
Right? Like what would be?
I just had another guy text me. I want to get him on. It's Shed Crazy, Ben Dedemone.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing
Ben,
his American shed tour right now, getting a shed in every 50 states. And so I think he'd be fun to have on. Just
100%.
His adventure. He's one that's like that quality over, or no, sorry, how would you say? Basically, the budget stuff over, looking cool and buying a brand new Tacoma like some idiots that do that. Me. Anyway,
it's a pretty rad Tacoma. As somebody that has a dinker of a car, I envy the Tacoma setup.
Don't envy it. The payment sucks. But like Ben buys this $500 Toyota van, whatever the frick they were called.
Yeah.
And he's traveling the country with a $500 purplish blue van, shed hunting, ripped the seats out, throws his canvas cutter in, and finds more sheds than anyone else.
No, that's awesome. I've never met Ben, but we always interact in comment sections of like posts. It's really weird. Like I don't think we've ever talked like one-on-one, but like he'll comment on something or I'll comment, and we always like go back on like things we think are funny, I guess. Like we must have similar sense of humor. You
guys are kings on comment sections, dude. Like I don't know where and how you come up with the wittiness comments that you have, but like
it's because I'm miserable at work, Brax. That's what.
Bow Nerds full time, man. I'm gonna keep
in between Excel sheets. That's
well, we're gonna make this possible so we can both quit our jobs and enjoy life again.
I am enjoying.
That's true.
I give it a way harder time than it deserves, but
think about how much more fun you'd have if you didn't have to go to a 9-to-5, but you were still making money.
Forget it. I know.
Dude, think about how dangerous you'd be in the industry if Kodo was full time.
I look at like if the things that I would want, I have ideas for like movies, like but you also need money for that too.
Yeah. This is true. This is true.
Well, we got the free intern coming. So.
Yeah, we do. He's up and coming. It's either a 7-year-old or somebody that's listening. So if somebody's still listening in an hour and 18 minutes in.
At this point, you're a real one. If you're still listening this far in, like drop a comment.
Hired.
What do you want to see in the future? And do you want to be the intern?
Absolutely. Gosh. Yeah, well maybe they're going to drop off by hour 20, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I mean, what else?
That might be a good place to end it.
Good place to wrap it up and prep for the next one. So we need to get a guest on because, I mean, people enjoy guests. They might not enjoy us as much as guests. So, well, I guess, I mean, I'll let you close it out, kind of give a good thanks.
Yeah, no, thanks for everybody. If you listen this long, we hit a whole gamut of stuff. So next episode, we'll definitely get a guest, and it'll be a little more focused. Probably unless we have Ben on, then it'll probably be less focused. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And we look forward to next episode and our future interns. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah. It's been real.